Then let's get it off to a fabulous start. Are we recording? We are. All right, here we come in 3, 2, 1.
Ouch! Stubbed your toe in the middle of the night? Stumbling around in the dark is dangerous. Don't turn on the light and wake up the whole family. Now there's Bright Feet.
Actual odds of winning 1 in 380 million.
The morning stream. The tingling means it's working.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Monday, November 11th, 2024. Scott Johnson here, Brian Ibbett there. Hi, Brian.
Yeah. All of this is true. A new week, a new Monday.
Yeah.
A new moon on Monday.
A
as
fresh.
Simon Le Bon once sang.
That's right. He did sing that, and you know what? We should remember that today and go forth. Not go back. Let's go forth today on our Monday. All right? Forth.
And happy Veterans Day to those of you who served. I first thought I know Jason Inman, Red Shirt Diaries, served and was even somehow going to be on the sideline, some sort of involvement with the potential Armor Wars movie franchise that MCU was working on.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Holy crap.
Well, it was awesome until that fell through.
Yeah, Hollywood's
so hopefully I'm able to talk about it now.
Yeah.
I wonder if the NDA is lifted on that business.
Hollywood's a brutal mistress, you know? They take your stuff and they leave your stuff. There's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely true. But to all the veterans listening, thank you for the sacrifices you made for this country, and we appreciate you.
Yep.
And we think of you on this day.
What are we going to do?
We offer you a free Red Robin burger.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. We got to come up with what's their deal. You know, got to get a deal.
They get so many deals. I get so many emails because I'm on, on my birthday, free this and that. It comes with every holiday emails from all those places saying, here's what you get if you wear a costume into Chipotle. How about a free burrito?
Yeah.
So I get about 1,000 things. If you're a veteran, free this on Veterans Day.
Does the T-Life app tell you what Tuesday's going to be ahead of Tuesday?
No, you don't find out until Tuesday.
Okay. I've been
scary. But the one I'm bummed that I missed, by the way, was 2 weeks ago. There was a free crumble cookie.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bummed, but I'm also but Coach Regina is probably very happy that I missed out on getting my free crumble cookie.
Oh, man. Utah's own crumble. They started here, you know.
Yeah, they did.
We're weird. We got the cookies and the soda places and all this shit, and now everyone else is starting to get it, and I feel bad because it's kind of dumb. It's because we don't have enough vices here. It's good. The crumble cookies are good. Don't get me wrong. The soda places are great, but it's all like a collective way of us having vices without having the normal vices here. So it's like I'll drink a ton of soda because I don't drink.
Right. It's like all of the B-level vices.
Yeah.
No drugs and alcohol per se, but boy, oh boy, can you sugar up.
B tier vices. That's what we've got here in Utah.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed this yesterday. I thought that liquor stores. So the way our laws work is it's a state-run liquor store, and they're all over the place, but they all close on Sunday. Is that normal for everywhere else, or is that just here? Where it closed?
That used to be the case here in Colorado. That no liquor on Sunday. All the liquor stores closed, but that changed maybe about 10, 12 years ago. So now every day of the week you can go and get booze. It even used to be that for a while you couldn't get anything over 3.2.
Oh, wow.
On Sundays. So kind of their halfway point was, all right, we'll let you get beer because we know there's a lot of football games. So how about some 3.2? And then that didn't last very long.
That's what made me think of it was football season, because I'm thinking there's a lot of people who drink on, during the games. It's Sunday games.
Yeah.
How are they going to go to these, and there's this brand new, really nice, like multi-leveled, nice liquor store near us. We're not going there, but I'm driving by going, closed on a Sunday when there's football? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
You have to go to a soda place and get some cookies. Anyway.
Right, exactly. Go load up. Go get a sugar high.
That's right.
Is really what you're going for.
Now, I want to share a story that I've already told Brian about briefly. I haven't given him the full skinny on this, but it's the stupidest frickin' thing.
Gotten some of it, but geez Louise.
It's so stupid. All right, so I don't even know how to start with this. I'll just tell you the quick version of this. The other day, I don't know where my screen cap went. I have the actual screen somewhere, and I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I can describe it. I go to Twitter to lock my account. And when I went in there to do it, because up to now it just sort of sits there and, whatever. But if you lock it, then only your followers see it, and you don't have to get rid of it, and nobody can take it and use it for their own devices, at least in theory. For all I know, they could do whatever they want.
Sure.
So
until Elon flips that button.
Yeah, he could easily go take one and not have zero issues taking it. So I went in there, not that he'd need mine, but it's a decent one for a lot of Scott Johnsons. It's literally Scott Johnson. It's hard to get, so I understand why it might be valuable. So I go in there to lock it. That's all I was going there for. I'm on the web. I go on the browser. I type x.com. It brings it up, and I get a big giant white screen, which is unusual because normally I'm in dark mode on there, and it says, you can't.
I think I still have the photo. Do you want me to
Do you
send
have
it
it?
back
Oh,
to
you know what? I probably
do.
have it in our text list. What am I thinking?
In our text, yeah.
Let me pull that up because this is worth seeing. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, I'll pull this up. All right, so check this out, you guys. Whoops. Oh my God.
Right above the freeze-dried chicken.
Yeah. All right, there it is right here. It says, your account is locked. Our terms of service require everyone who uses X to be 13 years or older, and we have determined that you did not meet the minimum age requirement at the time this account was created. For further details to understand what is possible to restore your access to your account, please visit this form. So
we have determined based on looking at your most recent tweets about poop jokes and farts, and
I don't know how they did that. Like, still to this moment, I don't understand this at all. I mean, I've been on the account. I've actually had the account for longer than 13 years.
Yeah.
I got it the year Twitter started, and to say that I'm under 13 or was then, I mean, what does that make me? Mix age, I guess, or something? I'd love to be 24 again. Let's go. Let's do it.
Gosh. Yeah.
Anyway, so I get this thing and I go, all right, well, that's really weird, but I guess I'll follow through on this so I can do this myself. I don't want them just shutting it down because of this age thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
And so I
got to reinstate it just to shut it down. To lock it.
Yeah, basically that was it. So I got on the forum. The forum lets you submit some stuff. Funny enough, it's like all mixed up. You know how supposedly they replaced all references to Twitter, but that's not true. Like in that form, it says your Twitter account is very important.
They're even still called tweets, aren't they? Like
maybe, but I mean, all they got to do is go. I don't think anyone's working there, which will help explain. I'll help illustrate that I don't think anyone's working there by the responses I got. So this form says, here's how you have to prove who you are. We need a form of state issued ID. This is something I had to do before for some other Twitter thing years ago, but it wasn't my account verification. Anyway, so I'm thinking, I hate doing that, but all right, fine. It's my driver's license. It's public info, whatever. So I go, I take a picture, perfectly framed, iPhone 16 Pro Max, perfectly photographed, sharp,
no glare, no reflection anywhere.
None, Brian. Perfect.
Right?
I left
I
borders
know exactly because this happened to you.
Borders around it so that they, doesn't look doctored. Shows it on a table. It couldn't have been a better photo, except I look like shit in it. But whatever. That's the DMV problem. So I do all that, and I send this photo into this form, and I get a response back, and the response says, we cannot determine from this that this is real. It looks doctored. And just so you know, sending us doctored documents means you will immediately lose your, and like they're getting all like aggressive about it.
The reply also said, thank you for your vote for Donald Trump, comrade. We'll make America great again.
It did have it did have like a weird, I don't know, it had a weird vibe to it. And they were also really angry in it. And I said, well,
really?
This is the photo that I sent. So it says, please reply
with attitude.
It says, please reply with more copies, clearly designated photos showing the full border like I did. They're saying all this stuff again like I didn't do it. So I did that original photo plus a new one just to be safe and then a video of me holding my license and saying, "This is my license. Check it out. Here's the back even. As you can tell, I haven't doctored this at all. And also from my voice, you can tell I'm not 12." Right? I said all that in the thing, not with yelling, but with text.
Yeah, of course.
And then with that video, and I sent it to them. I'm thinking, please let this be done. I just want to be done with this.
Yeah.
And I get a response back that is nothing. It's just a blank email signed X support team. And I went, are they supposed to, did they mean to say something and didn't? Is this automated? Like, what is this? So I replied. It says reply to this email. It doesn't say you can't reply. It says to reply to it if you have questions. So I replied and I said, and I took a screenshot, said, hey, your email came in like this without any text. I just want to make sure I didn't miss something you sent. I get a reply. Blank. Nothing. I do this process and I say, yeah, it didn't work again. And I checked and I went on my PC, did it with Chrome, Firefox, did it on my phone, 2 different email apps, all this stuff, just to be sure it wasn't me. I'm willing, I know how tech works. Sometimes it's you.
Yeah.
So I do all this shit, Brian, and I get another reply, blank. And then I started to realize every time I go back to them saying, yeah, you're still sending me blank replies, I would get a blank reply. So something's broken over there.
Oh, so many things, it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just one, but they are just like not understanding what I'm saying, and I'm not seeing anything back from them. So I'm like, well, all right, I've resigned myself to this now. I'm thinking they will either go through with the thread of the email saying they'll just shut it down because they think I'm 12 and I'm giving them fake ID. Oh, well,
right.
That's fine. I can move on with my life after this. Or they'll come back finally and say you're good. Well, they ended up coming back and saying I was good, but it took them an extra day. Okay. And when I replied, thank you for your help, I got a reply back, blank again.
Of course, yeah.
It's a really, really great process they got going over there. So my old everything's being run on cat hair and bamboo. I believe it. I believe it's true. I don't think anyone's really gives a shit about this end of it over there. And that place is a mess. So that's it. We're done.
I know a while ago you had decided to kind of just leave Twitter.
Yeah. I tried to delete it. I tried to, and it wouldn't let me. It only let me delete it ended up deleting like a year of stuff and then aired out. So even that didn't work. And also their download, where you go to download your archive, which I wanted to do just so I have all my info, and they don't just get to have it or whatever. That was about 2 gigs worth of, however many years this has been going on. It was a lot.
Sure, of content. Yeah.
That took 4 different download attempts, about a week to wait for it to even be available to me. And even then it was parsed all wrong. Also branded Twitter, not branded it. Like it,
of course, yeah.
Like I really, honestly, Brian, it's easy for us on the outside of this weird takeover of that platform and all the stuff that's happened since. It's easy from us on the outside to go, oh yeah, that place being run like shit. They fired everybody. It's easy to just make surface level comments, but having had this interaction
when
like
when you actually get stuff from the quote unquote inner workings of the place,
it's
hard not to think that it's more than just skin deep. The shit show.
It's broken. It is absolutely busted. Yeah. There's not. Okay, so my final impression is, he bought it on a whim and as an ego trip, and then, say what you want about its use case now, which I would argue is pretty nefarious, but all of that is chiefly what matters over there. There's no plan for grow it and turn it into the app for everyone. That's not it at all. That's not what they're doing.
No,
it's just it's just horse shit. It's just all horse shit.
Exactly. I mean, it's I was looking back to see my last tweet that wasn't just a copy and paste from my thread saying, hey, doing a show, Coverville starting in 10 minutes, blah, blah, blah. The last one of those was August 1st of the, hey, doing a Coverville in 10 minutes, come join me. The one before that, the last actual tweet looks like June 5th was the last time I tweeted something.
Good man.
And that was even and even scrolling back, it's like it's a while before you get to something else that's of any relevance. I really have just stopped on X, and if people are like, oh, I follow Brian on X and I don't know why he hasn't tweeted anything, come over to another any other
Anywhere
come to
else.
Threads. That's where I do most of my stuff.
Yeah, go to Threads, go to Blue Sky, go to something else, or don't,
exactly.
or whatever. It's all horseshit anyway. Turns out
It's all horseshit.
everything's
Now,
horseshit. Yeah.
It seems like it was the buying of X and all that stuff was long before there was his very visible push behind the Trump campaign. But now it's hard for me not to think, was the plan to like run X into the ground with the hopes that everybody on X would hop over to Truth Social?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard.
The two things happened so far apart. I don't think he's smart enough to have planned that far ahead.
I mean, it was only. I agree, but it was only. I mean, it was only a year, so it wasn't that much. But I mean, he bought it in 2020. Oh, I guess it was 2022 when he came in there, right?
Yeah, it was a couple of years. Yeah,
Something like that. And who knows? Freaking F it all. I don't give a shit. Here's these two fingers right here that I have in the middle of my hands. These are the two.
You can make an X with those.
Yeah, look at this. Look at that.
If you overlay them,
you know what that's cooler than is jumping up on a stage to make an X with my fat freaking 50-year-old body. Yeah. So F that.
Sorry, Anar, I didn't mean to freak you out.
The cat didn't like that.
Didn't like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get moving on here. I got a thing from Hendertucky, Robert from Hendertucky.
Oh, cool.
We love him. He's great. He has this to say. He says on that camel thing we were talking about, the camel lady or the neighbor saying,
the thing you overheard about camels and not existing and all that.
Yeah, what I heard is camels don't, or no, was it the original thing was camels don't exist, dear.
Deer. Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Here is what I thought it said, but we think maybe it was deer.
No,
right?
No, it's the other way around.
Oh,
you thought they said camels don't exist, deer, and then the tadpole said, "Oh, maybe they meant here, as in camels don't exist here."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember which way it flipped. Anyway,
yeah.
Because I was so convinced by the tadpole argument, I kind of settled on that and figured that was it. But anyway, he says,
it makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah,
I agree. He says deer spit and Bactrian. On Bactrian. On Friday's show, you mentioned while eavesdropping your weird neighbor saying camels don't exist here, and you figured it was camels don't exist here. Okay, so there you go. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Oh, so he's saying it the way I was thinking of it.
But it's still.
I heard him say deer.
Right, go back to your Friday show notes if you need. Camels don't exist, deer, unable to interpret it. And then the tadpole said,
yeah.
He might have been saying camels don't exist here.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought I was thinking. I must have said the opposite. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Interesting fact. Camels were originally native to North America. They evolved about 45 million years ago. They most likely crossed the land bridge to Asia and eventually went extinct in America about 10,000 years ago.
That's wild.
Yeah, it says the next time your neighbors are discussing the origins of native dromedary, you can set them straight. He says, P.S. Endless desert roads, one hump says beneath the sun, still the journey goes, says Robert. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's news to me. I had no idea that they were.
Yeah, that's really that they were native to here. That's amazing.
Yeah. Can you imagine how different life would be if we just had camels all over the place that weren't in zoos?
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I'd be down with that.
Would we be riding them like we see people riding horses? Maybe?
I hope so. Like all the parades and stuff that I don't go to, I could be on those.
Camels, yeah, right.
Yeah, why not? I would, and you'd have your, like your rich friends would have a little pasture and their own horse or whatever. They would have their own camel.
They would have their own camel. With the company Camelback that makes those great traveling water storage devices, would they call them horseback? Because camels are so run of the mill here in America. What a boring name. Let's be horseback.
Yeah, it would have to be something like that because if it's so common, they wouldn't just name it after a common thing, right?
Right.
I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with that. Katie in Philly wrote in, says, "Oh boy, listening to yesterday's TMS discussion on what makes a puppet, and y'all are breaking my brain. Does this mean a car is a puppet?"
What?
Oh, shit! Think of it, Brian. You control it. Is it a puppet?
Bringing it to life. Now, what was it, Amy? I know I might have the clapping right, but I'm not sure about the words.
Yeah.
Making it live.
Bringing it to life. Bringing it to life.
I think so. I can't remember.
Bringing in the sheaves.
That's it. Anything you can pick up and bring to life.
So cars. So you could put a couple of googly eyes on the front like the movie Cars.
Sure.
drive it around and be a little erratic, and suddenly you're Lightning McQueen out there being a puppet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't see any dissent from Amy yet, so unless Amy argues against Carr, let us know, Amy, what you think of
really
that.
funny.
Christine, yeah, Christine's the ultimate puppet. That's
Christine
great.
is the ultimate puppet. Although, Christine becomes a automaton because it's its own sentient thing.
Oh, right. Nobody. Well,
Yeah.
its possession is different than an actual other person.
Right.
Yeah. That's a
Right.
good point.
Yeah. I guess so. It's the devil's puppet.
Right.
Christine.
Right. Whereas, like, Chucky seems like a puppet, but is not one because a devil's in Chucky. Even though the filmmakers are using puppetry to move Chucky, our presentation is that Chucky is possessed, which means, ergo, he is not a puppet. He's a possessed beast.
Right. Yes.
Brian, tell me about Here. What is Here?
Anything the devil can pick up and bring to life. So I saw the movie Here at the theater on Saturday night, and what's it currently sitting at? 30-something Rotten Tomatoes.
Not doing great.
Not doing great, which really surprises me because I actually enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it like I wouldn't put it up in the like Forrest Gump level, quality wise, but for what it is, I don't know. It relies heavily on a gimmick, and that gimmick almost kind of takes too much attention away from the acting and the characters and that sort of thing. But it is a fixed position camera, always in the same place. And you see everything from the dinosaurs in the Ice Age to colonial times, and them building roads and indigenous people living there to the several families that have lived in the house that sits on this place. And the largest family that they focus on is one that's got Tom Hanks and Robin Wright from Forrest Gump, Jenny and Forrest.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's funny because up to this point, I hadn't remembered that until you just said it. Like I knew it was Robin Wright. I knew that, but I never went. I never once went, oh, finally, Forrest and Jenny are back together.
Are reunited. Yeah, exactly. And believe me, that was a big. That was a big component of the chatting going on with the crazy neighbors next to me. It looks like it's got the 37% tomato meter, but a 58% popcorn meter. So the audience score. Audience liked it a lot more than critics. I'm kind of in the 58% range. It was. I did not feel like the morph and the AI faces and the uncanny valley was distracting at all. As a matter of fact, I was looking for seams. I was looking for his mouth isn't quite moving correctly here, or he turned his face and his eyes stayed in the same place for a second or something.
Is it they used AI for the face stuff? I thought that was all just.
I don't know what the
Robert Downey Jr. stuff they used.
The youngifying, yeah. I mean, I lump it all into anything that's done with computers to supplant, taking old bachelor party and bosom buddies era video and making it fit in here. I'm saying, all right, well, they use some AI to use that to do that sort of thing. Who knows? I mean, anything like I said. I'm describing the whole special effects thing as that, but I was looking for seams. I didn't find them. It was all really good. Some of the tricks that they used to show other parts of the outside when you're inside the house, or even what's behind you, I thought was really cool. It bounces around more than I was expecting. I was expecting it to go dinosaur, Ice Age, indigenous people, colonial, 1950s, blah, 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 into the present. But they really do a lot of bouncing around, and they do it in a way that is very story driven, as far as like, oh, here's something that happened to several different people who've all been in this space, who've all lived here.
Gotcha.
It's funny. Matuba says, so it's like a stage play. Very much feels like it could be done as a stage play, especially with some really creative screening behind the window that changes time periods and things like that.
guess this thing is based on a comic book or like a graphic novel. Is the origin?
Is it really?
Of this. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Never
I didn't know that.
read it, but it seems interesting, right? Like, you might want to check that out and see if that's any good.
Yeah, for sure. But I felt like this thing had a lot more emotion and a lot more heart than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be 80% gimmick and 20% acting and characters and things like that. But maybe me going in with low expectations helped it a lot. But I actually really enjoyed it. Tina and Crazy Neighbors enjoyed it as well.
Nice. I mean, I was immediately interested in the concept. But these reviews started rolling in, and even audience score of 58 is pretty low. But it also just doesn't feel like a theater movie. It feels like a more I don't know how to say this. It's just not it's not a blockbuster gimmick.
It's definitely not a blockbuster. Yeah, it's not a gimmick that relies on you seeing in the biggest screen possible.
Yeah.
It you'll be just fine watching this on streaming.
Interesting.
But,
so this is interesting.
yeah.
Here was originally a 6-page comic story by Richard McGuire, published in 1989.
Pages, really?
And then
Wow.
they expanded it into a 304-page graphic novel in 2014. And then they bought the rights for the film, I guess. Zemeckis did because he was enamored with it. That's cool. I kind of want to check this out. It was written in 89, or the original was in 89, and then...
And that thing you see in that little panel they show right there on the page, the Wikipedia page, that they do in the movie as well, where they will have like an inset from one time period over the backdrop of another time period, which
interesting.
just to kind of show you the juxtaposition between the two, which really is kind of cool, actually.
What a trippy,
and it's really done well.
Trippy concept. I like that a lot.
Yeah. But,
I definitely want to see this. Like, no matter what the reviews say, this is like just too interesting not to see. But I guess the critics are all up in a bunch about it and don't like it.
I mean, the critics are audience score. That's almost 2 out of 3 people liking it. 58%'s not too far from 66%, which would be 2/3.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I look at as well. But I also look at is it something I want to see? Cool, then I'll see it.
Yeah.
I don't know what. What was the movie? The Kate Blanchett
Robin
video
Hood?
game.
Oh
no, the video game from
Borderlands.
Borderlands. Thank you.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's not Fallout. Don't say Fallout. It's definitely not Fallout. Don't say Fallout. And all I can think of is Fallout.
Borderlands did 10% critics, 51%.
51% audience.
Yeah.
That sounds about right with our audience, because a lot of people said, yeah. For what it is, I know TV's Travis said, I went in with low expectations and I enjoyed it. And I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I kind of want to see it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters. Probably not, but I'll probably see this for sure. And
don't bother seeing that one in theaters.
Yeah.
That one easily can wait. See Conclave in theaters. It's weird to say that a movie about changing the Pope should be seen on a big screen, but it really feels like it should be seen on the big screen.
Did you say whether what's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
John Lithgow, Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci. He's in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in it. He is fantastic.
Because I just
that
watched.
Guy is absolutely amazing.
No, he's a great
I just
actor.
found out that he's got a regular cooking show somewhere.
That's what I was just about to say. That's how That's why I was thinking of him, because Kim loves his cooking show. It's on.
I need to check out his cooking show.
It's on Max.
Yeah.
He doesn't really. I mean, he cooks some, but it's mostly him traveling around France and Europe and and mostly Italy, because he loves Italian. In fact, it may only be Italy now that I think about it. But he sometimes cooks, but mostly he's like hanging out with like actor friends who know a guy, and the guy makes the best tortellini meschini, babita deer, kind of stuff.
You gotta, right.
Seems like a good time. Kim loves that.
Well, we got to get Dunaway in here. We got some game to play.
Well, let's do it then. Let's get him in here.
I just looked at the clock. It's 1:45. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll get this in. I'm not too worried. Dunaway's he's a quick winner and loser. He can do both. He's quick on both. All right, as spoken of just prior to this, we're going to play a game with Brian Dunaway. This is the Morning Half-Asses, and that is Brian Dunaway. Hello!
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. Is it Monday already?
It
Cool.
is.
Monday already.
It is
Cool.
Monday. Yeah. Do you feel like time is moving slow or fast for you these days?
Slipping into the future.
Yeah.
It keeps on slipping.
It's going pretty quick. I'm done talking about how fast months move because I thought October went quick and we're already the 10th of November. What the
I know,
F?
11th of November. Yeah, we're almost halfway through the month, which is crazy.
Remember the 11th of November. It works for any day.
It works for any
totally
day.
Just about
useless.
any day.
Yeah.
It's November.
Yeah. Just
Except
rhymes
for
with November.
27th. That's too many syllables in 27.
Remember the 27th of November. Yeah. It doesn't work.
It's a little too much.
You got to shorten that up. Brian, why don't you explain these rules and who's playing with us and all that stuff? What's going on here?
Okay. Welcome to the Morning Half-Asses, a trivia game where I'm going to be giving these two chuckleheads the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct and three that are just incorrect. I'm not going to think of something real quick. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses. If any of those guesses are wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points total.
Nice.
The player with the most points after 3 rounds wins the prize for their contestant, and I've pulled contestants for members of the Tadpole that aren't able to be here live. Scott, you're playing for Zarek, ally of Lure from Omicron Percy 8 in Dayton, Ohio.
Thought it was Percy 9, but okay.
No, it's Percy
Yeah,
I.
he says
Percy I 8. Percy I 8.
Yeah, Percy 8.
Yep.
Brian, you're playing for Eric Brissette in Rosemere, Quebec, just north of Montreal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
Let's see how you do with these questions here. Question number 1, or category number 1. Let's start out with something easy. You guys are both into the retro. This is right up your alley. Mario franchise characters. Which of these 6 are Mario franchise characters? You have Toadette, Kabutops, Princess Daisy, Pidgeot, Midna, and Doraemon.
You just never give us easy ones. You're like, here's the easy question,
Here's the
and
easy
here's
one.
a bunch of complex answers that you'll never get.
Midna and Pidgeot. I think Pidgeot might be. I don't want to give you
Thanks.
help. You pick
Click.
what you want.
Pidgeot,
You click
thank
what
you.
you want.
Thanks, man. Got any more tips? Got
yeah.
any more hot tips?
Yep. Doraemon you should choose, and Kabul,
All right,
Kabul
Doraemon.
Tops.
All right.
Yep. Those are the
Pidgeot.
3.
Gotcha.
All
All
set.
right.
All right. You guys both selected 2, and you both selected the same 2, and they are both correct. Toadette and Princess Daisy are both right. Scott, you were right. Pidgeot would have actually gotten you a few more points.
I wasn't totally
Pidgeot.
sure.
I wasn't
exactly
sure. I felt Pokemon-ish. I was a little worried.
Yeah. Kabutops is, as you know, Pokemon, and Midna is from Zelda. And, of course, Doraemon, completely different thing.
I don't know what Midna. Midna's a character in Zelda. I don't know who that is.
Midna's a Zelda thing. I took out Dr. Eggman. I replaced Dr. Eggman and Waluigi with Kabutops and Pidgeot. I had to make this thing a little tougher for you.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
When are we going to play Mask of Majora? When are we going to play that one, Scott?
That's Midna.
The Mask, yeah.
Whatever that is.
Majora.
I don't remember this character. Majora's Mask is the worst Zelda game ever made, and we're never going to do it. I hate it.
Fine.
I'll fight you on that. That's a terrible game. Anyway, continue.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, let's go number 2 here. Number 2 is inventions named after a person. Which of these inventions were named after a person? Your choices are Diesel, Frisbee, Tupperware, Heroin, Blazer, and Kettle.
Well, Harry Diesel came up with the diesel, so I mean,
Sure.
no brainer.
Man.
And then Sally Frisbee, she came up with she had some plates.
Don't
She
you
came up
try
with
to
that.
don't you try
Right,
to convince me of anything. Don't you do that.
And Bobby Kettle?
Yeah,
Totally invented
Bobby
Kettle.
Kettle. It sounds like a
Tilly called his partner Pot Black.
Yeah.
And then,
Right.
that's when they split. Yeah.
sounds like an NFL
Right.
coach, doesn't it? Bobby Kettle and his team are really going to
Bobby
do well
Kettle.
this year.
Right.
Well, hell. I don't know. I'm going to go with what sounds right. That sort of sounds right. Blazer? No. I'm doing these 2.
Okay. Once again, you guys both settled on 2, and you both settled on the same 2.
Did we
Frisbee
really?
And Tupperware, both of which are correct.
Really? Hot diggity dog. We doing good this week.
Yeah.
Frisbee was named after William Russell Frisbee, who owned
Yeah, I
a
knew that one.
pie factory,
Yeah.
and the pie tins they figured out could fly like Frisbees.
Yeah.
Rudolph Diesel is who Diesel is named after, and I thought it was Martin Tupper. It is Earl Tupper was the person that Tupperware is named after.
The reason these the two Frisbee and Tupperware worked for me is because those names don't make, if you take out what they're known for, they make no sense as a thing. So Frisbee sounds like a Frisbee, of course, because we're used to it, but it's a weird name for anything, and it has to be like a real guy's name. Whereas Blazer, like I know what Blazer, I know what...
but you know what a kettle is because you know what a kettle is, right? Like if you just saw that word kettle, it's not something that kets. Oh, let me go ket up some water.
I think kettle is probably people inherited the name after the thing was created, right?
So.
It's old, right? It's super old.
Sure.
Yeah, kettle's been around for so long. It's got to be like ancient Europe.
I thought Diesel was a fake out. I just thought it was like it's got to be a fake out. He's getting us on the Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Well, we got to go to round number 3 to see if we can.
Last year we were tied with zeros. This week we're doing all right.
Doing all right. Both tied with 6 points. Let's see what question 3 does for you. Little history for you. Wonders of the ancient world that were destroyed by earthquakes. Your choices are the Colossus of Rhodes, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the Lighthouse at Alexandria, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, and the statue of Zeus at Olympia.
With the mausoleum at where now?
Halicarnassus.
All right. Okay.
I was like Halicarnassus isn't. Hey, Fantastic Four, get your asses in the helicar.
I don't know this.
I have a bad case of halicarnassus this morning before I brush my teeth. Whew. Yeah.
Real easy for you to say.
Yeah.
I feel like Alexandria had a burning of the library, but it's not the same as a earthquake. Maybe the earthquakes. All right, I'm choosing that, and I'm choosing.
The earthquake caused the fire.
Yeah. The Hanging Gardens. Shit. This is where I lose. All right, I'm doing it.
No, maybe not. Maybe I lost. We can see.
Okay.
Maybe we'll tie it up.
And once again, you've chosen the same two.
No, get out of here. Get out of here.
The Lighthouse at Alexandria, which was destroyed by an earthquake.
That was good. I knew that one.
And the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which nobody knows actually what destroyed those.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily an earthquake, but the Colossus of Rhodes and the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus were both destroyed by earthquakes. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus was by plundering, and the statue of
not
Zeus,
by pooping? Okay.
By not pooping, no. And the statue of Zeus at Olympia was by fire.
I might have confused that or something, but all right. So now we have to have tiebreakers.
Congratulations on getting exactly the same number of points as each other.
Hey, we're in sync today, Scott. I like it.
It is. What else should we do? What can we take advantage of here? We should do something else.
That's what I'm thinking.
You want to bet on something in Vegas or something? I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I don't know what the advantage is. It just means you'll either both win or both lose.
Exactly.
Like there's
but none of us knew here either. That's what we're saying is this luck will continue.
We'll share the experience, which is what's important.
Sure, you'll share the loss if you lose. All right. Well, let's get to your tiebreaker question here. You guys can't come up with the same number here, so that's awesome. Let's go to Winchester, Virginia. The town of Winchester, Virginia changed hands more than any other town during the U.S. Civil War. How many times did Winchester, Virginia change hands between the North and the South during the U.S. Civil War? Scott, I'm going to have you pick the number. How many times did Winchester, Virginia change hands?
I'm going to guess it's significant, so I'm going to say, I'll say 20 times.
20 times is incorrect. Brian, is the actual answer higher or lower than 20 times?
20 times sounds ridiculous, so I'm going to say lower.
Yeah, good choice.
Shit.
Lower. But it's not lower. It's higher. 72 times.
Wow.
Winchester
No, it's mine. No.
Winchester actually, because of that, became known as the shuttlecock of the Confederacy because because it got lobbed over the net so many times to the other side.
That's awesome, man. I would have never guessed it was that high, but I figured it had. If it was a question in this, it had to be significant.
Had to be significant. Yeah.
Because why else use it? If it was like 3 times.
72 times.
That's crazy. But did they notice, like, people on the ground? If you're like a farmer or like a milkmaid and you lived there, did you just every day wake up and go, "Wonder which side we're on today"? You know what I mean? That must have been
so
wild.
Is that a profession, a milkmaid? I love that as a profession.
Yeah. Or whoever.
A farmer or a milkmaid.
Whoever. I don't know.
I don't know, because I imagine that they put up a new flag every time, right? So it's like around City Hall, they have to keep, get the other flag out. I guess we're going up.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why I thought it would have been less. I'm like, seems like a lot of paperwork.
It really does.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. All right. I'll take it, though.
But congratulations then, Zarek from Dayton. You are getting these games. The winner is getting Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and Stranded Alien Dawn on Steam.
Nice.
Thanks to Wesley for those.
Nice.
Runner-up, don't worry about it, Eric. You're getting something cool. Coral Island, also on Steam, and also from Wesley. So good games for everyone.
Thank you, Wesley.
Yeah. And Coral Island, excellent game. It's like Stardew Valley with 3D graphics. It's very nice and very good. Yeah, as far as like one of those kinds of games goes, I think it's one of the better ones. So congratulations.
Excellent.
Winner.
Have
chicken.
fun with those games.
Dinner. Yes, indeed. Hey, Dunaway, in addition to me talking more about this new RG28XX on Friday, we're also going to be talking
very excited
about Donkey Kong Country.
Yes, which we both of us were convinced we'd already done. So we haven't done it forever because it's like, we've done it on Country. No, we haven't. 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Super NES. Come on, the SNES.
I think it's because we did Donkey Kong, and then I was streaming my playthrough of the first version of Country.
Right.
And for some reason, I conflated all that, and I was sure we did it. So lots to say. And it's
apparently we're gonna be it's gonna be a couple of donkeys. Remember that one that was playing a little instrument? He was called Cranky because he was both old and cranking the music out.
Yep.
That was the original Donkey Kong. If you didn't know that,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
That's the original. That's the OG guy.
So wait a minute. If that's Cranky Kong, who's Funky Kong? I thought he was the music guy. No.
No, that would be dumb.
I love Funky Kong.
He's Funky Kong is modern, man. He's like, can I fly you somewhere? Yeah, come on, I'm funky.
He's great. Funky Kong is he's my jam. But he's got like music and stuff and does like rap in the new ones. I don't know. We'll get into it all. We'll dig into the
Maybe
minutia.
He's Funky Kong Jr. Tune in this Friday to find out.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
You.
BioCow says the music one is Chaka Kong.
Chaka Kong.
everybody.
Chaka Kong.
Chaka Kong. Chaka Kong. Everybody.
That's awesome.
Chaka Kong.
Dunaway, kiss our butts, please.
No, you.
Okay, bye. All right. He's out of there. You see?
Well done.
Yeah. See? Why am I on the wrong tab? See? There it is. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Science with Bobby. He's sitting in for Steven this week. Steven's got some busy stuff going on at the college he teaches at, so Bobby was very kind to sweep in with another week of
more
science. Yep, nothing wrong with that. That'll be right after this break. Brian, play us a song. What do we got?
Got a brand new album from a band called Bodega. This is the quintet from New York City, and they are just starting this Friday. Going to be starting their tour at Brooklyn Made, November 14th. So if you like this, go check them out live. This, for whatever reason, reminded me a lot of early Weezer. It is freaking excellent. This is a song called Dedicated to the Dedicated. It's from the brand new album from Bodega, which is called Brand on the Run. Here is Bodega.
Introducing Cush, the comfortable nighttime companion. Anatomically contoured to gently support and cushion the weight of a woman's breasts.
We both won the lottery! Why don't you win the lottery too?
And we return. Tell us about that song one more time, please.
Sure, that was the band Cush. Just kidding. That was the band Bodega with from their brand new album Brand on the Run with a song called Dedicated to the Dedicated.
Nice. That's who you should be dedicated to. Dedicate yourself to the dedicated.
Exactly. What a great day to be dedicated to the dedicated.
I agree with that. All right, Bobby's coming in hot.
Yeah.
Well, not really. His mic is set to perfect levels. He's not coming in hot at all.
It totally is. Yes.
But we're going to learn a little something today and, get some wise words from him. If I can just find his effing deal.
Science!
There it is.
Bob is hungry, and the soup looks good.
Indeed. His name is Bobby Frankenberger, and it turns out he canceled a flight today so he could hang with us.
Wow.
That was really nice,
Super
Bobby.
nice,
Well, what's that about? Why'd you do that for us?
I didn't cancel so that I could hang out with you.
Although
it's just the weather.
Oh,
is bad today.
Oh, all right. So yeah, when I talked to you, you said I will be there if my flight gets canceled. But then you replied to me and said I canceled my flight, and so I immediately made up a story in my head that Bobby loves being here so much.
I like that story though.
Yeah, it's nice, right? So we're gonna stick with that one.
It is. Makes us feel good.
Yeah. Because we know how much you love us. But we also like having you here, and we like talking science. And I'm sure you brought a little package of something for us. So lay it on us. What's going on?
I did, and if you'll hold on a second, I'm going to turn my camera on. So I normally turn it on real fast right when you call, but literally when you called, I had 45 seconds left in a heroic, a mythic dungeon that I was pugging. And so I answered while we were finishing the boss, and I just finished it. And on top of that,
yeah,
I just got Keystone Hero, so I got 2,500 ratings. So you were all here to witness it.
Oh my gosh, you were last we talked, you were close, but now you've done it, and it was literally moments ago. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I had to be rude and unprofessional and continue to finish this.
No, it's worth it.
You guys
it's worth it. You did some bonus stuff for the Instance Patreon, which people should, if you're supporting us there, go watch this. It's all about how to be a decent pugging mythic monster like you. I don't know how you do it.
Well, one thing that I do is I shirk all responsibility in life and just run a mythic when I'm expecting a call.
Gotcha.
So.
That's the one way to get it done.
Smart. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a little something from this interaction right now. I'm going to start doing this in my own life. All right. Well, then now you can tell us about science instead of mythics, I guess.
Yes, I can.
Science of mythics.
Yes, I can. I've got a couple of things that I was reading about this morning and that we can talk about. All or a couple of them. Did you hear about the Rhesus monkeys that escaped in South Carolina?
Right, like near you. Yeah, I mean, how close is that town in South Carolina to you?
It's right around Beaufort, South Carolina, which is sort of like between Savannah and Charleston.
Okay.
So maybe an hour and a half. Well, if it were by the interstate, it'd probably be an hour and a half. Like if there were an interstate to it, but it'd probably take like 2 hours to get there because.
Wow.
It was going to be we had it in our news today, so I'm glad we're bringing it up because we can scratch that one off. But it says here that there are over 40 on the loose. Is that true?
Yeah, so 43 Rhesus macaque monkeys escaped on Wednesday. It was on Wednesday that they did, and it was this lab called Alpha Genesis. They do.
That sounds friendly.
Yeah.
Well, they do animal testing, different kinds of things. They also they do a lot of things with monkeys for science, providing them, breeding them, providing like biomaterial for. Yeah. Tissue samples, blood, but also they'll do testing on them and everything. But anyway, apparently what happened was that a caretaker, quote, failed to secure the doors at the facility, unquote.
Oh, geez. And I've seen this episode of From, haven't we, Brian? We know how this goes.
Yes, we have. Yes, exactly.
I thought, isn't this kind of how Planet of the Apes, like how this whole thing started?
Right.
Sort of?
Oh, yeah. No kidding. Oh yeah, somebody please go protect the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, we just didn't expect macaques to be the dominant Planet of the Apes, because up to this point it's all gorillas and chimps clearly, but nope, it's these little guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
If the chimps sound like Randy McDowell, what do the macaques sound like? Patton Oswalt or something?
It fits. Or just like, what are you doing? Something like that. Yeah, little piss pots. Yeah. Anyway.
But so they escaped, and what's funny is we heard it in the news when my in-laws were in town, they live closer to that area, and they have some friends that live in Beaufort. So he was texting them all and saying like, "Oh, watch out! There's gonna be monkeys in your backyard."
Yeah.
But but anyway, so they escaped, and the thing that people have been wondering, like, you gotta recover 43 macaque monkeys, right? Like, what's gonna happen? And the current updates are that they're basically just hanging out around the facility.
Okay.
Like, they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Not a
cool, the
mass,
doors
like-
are open. We can go play outside.
It's not like they had a map that they said, all right, we've got to go to the Capitol.
Right.
My biggest takeaway, is this wrong that I was rooting for the monkeys? I'm a little annoyed that they're just hanging around the facility, but I'm kind of rooting for the monkeys. Like, go guys, get out of there.
You're not wrong to root for the monkeys, and I think they're winning. They're playing in the trees outside the facility. They're living their best macaque life.
Yeah, I just wish they were in a place where they could actually like not have. What's the word? I mean, they're going to get caught, right? They're going to catch them. This isn't going to go on forever. They're not going to go. Here at Genesis Labs, we've decided that the best thing is that they're out of here and doing what they want. They're not going to do that.
Right.
They're going to bring them back, and that bums me out. So it's fine.
Right.
Whatever.
It's the circle of science.
The circle of science doesn't really roll off the tongue as easy, but somebody get Disney on that. They'll take care of it. So what happens now then? They capture them. They go back to plugging them full of chemicals. Like, what happens now?
What they do at that lab is biomedical research. So usually they're testing medications, medicine, vaccines. They were testing different stuff like that. They use their facility for quarantine if quarantine's needed for testing animals and stuff like that. But yep, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to get it. But I feel like they're hanging out around the facility, and how long does it take to? I'm wondering, are they worried that if they try to start capturing them, will it drive them away or something? I'm just wondering, why is it taking so long for them to get
good
them
point.
if they're not going anywhere?
Is the surrounding area not very urban? I assume it's like a lot of trees and stuff, and
Yeah, it's not a super populated part of South Carolina, and the local authorities have said that there's not really much to worry about. Anyway, they're small. They're like 6 or 7 pounds each. They're all healthy monkeys. They haven't had any. They hadn't been part of any research yet, so there's not like risk that they're incubating viruses or anything like that.
Right. Thank goodness.
So there's not a lot of like concern or anything like that. So I guess we'll find out when they get some. But
if I was a plucky young kid, let's say Twitter was right and I'm only 12.
Yeah.
I would go try to get one of these monkeys, and it would be a whole story about our friendship. I would take him in. I'd feed
coming
him.
of age story of a man and his.
Yep, man and his monkey.
That's right. And here's what would happen. You'd have like really great evil over there at the Genesis thing, and I would have run-ins with them trying to hide the monkey. I mean, this is an 80s movie just waiting to get made. Let's do it.
It would be called Me and Macaque.
There you go. Me and Macaque.
Perfect. Macaque and me.
Yeah. That's even better. I love it.
Yeah. I'm really glad we workshopped this title.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I may have even seen this movie. Wasn't there something like this back in the long time?
It was a Mac and me, but I think it was a robot.
Oh, you're right.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, but wasn't there was a monkey thing where Ali Sheedy or somebody was involved? They broke him out.
Project X?
Was that it? We film sacked
You might be thinking of. Well, yeah, we did. I think you're thinking of Project S, but Project X with Matthew Broderick and.
That's it.
Yeah, Ali Sheedy and stuff. Yeah.
Project X. Yeah, I think I'm just repeating that movie in my head.
Dunstan checks in. That's what you're thinking.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Finally, we figured it out.
I gotta admit though, after watching that Chimp Crazy show, it has really turned me on chimps being treated. Or any
Please isolate just the first part of Scott's statement.
You guys really should see it. It's wild how these animals are. We just humans think we've got it all worked out. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't know shit. And those things will eat your face. I don't care how domestic they are, how long you've had them. You got a 40-year-old chimp who's never heard a flea. One day he will turn on you and eat half your head off. Oh, man. You got to watch it. That's something.
That's what I do.
We've got it queued up. Fortunately, I've got a recommendal for this week, so I think that gives us carte blanche to watch Chimp Crazy.
Yeah, get it in there. Nicole was right. It's a hell of a thing. It was worth every eyeball second that I spent on it. All right. So Bobby, there you go. Monkeys in the news. Oh, your lights went
How
out.
do they work?
There you go.
There's some a couple other. I'm messing with my camera. Apologize.
You're all good.
Seems like a really good time to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had to do a mythic dungeon earlier, so.
Right. Of course. Yes.
The other thing is the CDC. There's some news out of the CDC, not the CDC, the FDA. Sorry, we were just talking about the CDC. But do you remember? It was last year we talked about how the FDA was going to pool or had been reviewing all the research for phenylephrine, the over-the-counter decongestant that apparently was not effective. I know
we did talk about it
on the show.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah. So last year we talked about that. So to quickly get caught up on that, because it's not a big news item, this update, but this is what all these are updates, right? Updates on monkeys, updates on decongestants. But
I was really hoping that we were going to get that from you today.
Yeah. Who expected both of these? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sudafed in monkeys. So the active ingredient in over-the-counter Sudafed is phenylephrine, and it'd long been thought for a while that phenylephrine, the active ingredient in over-the-counter Sudafed, was not effective at all, and that it just wasn't an effective decongestant. It just didn't work, and people have been trying to get that reviewed for a while. Finally, the FDA agreed and reviewed some of the stuff and agreed last year that it was not an effective decongestant, and you'd think that okay, great. So they're going to do something about that, and they want to do something about it, but there is so much bureaucracy in how all of that works. And that's not a judgment. That's how it works, right? It's very slow moving. A lot of it is for important safety reasons, but the fact is, even if they review all the research and find it's not effective, first they have to, so they make a judgment and say it's not effective.
Yeah.
And then that statement they have to put out for public comment, because the next step they want to do is take the drug. Well, the next thing they want to do is make a recommendation to take the drug off the monogram. The monogram is just a list of drugs that drug makers can use in over-the-counter products.
Okay.
And so they want to take it off, right? But so that first they have to make a recommendation that it be taken off. And then after the recommendation gets approved by being open to public comment, then they can finally take it off. So so now we're in the middle step of the process. It's finally the fact that they declared that it was ineffective. That whole statement was left open to public comment, and it passed through that. And now they're ready to say that this is ineffective. Now that has to be subject to public comment. And the next step, if they don't hear anything from the public to say otherwise, that convinces them otherwise, the next step will be taking it to take it off the monogram, and it won't be able to be put in any medications anymore.
Does stuff like this or decisions like this ever get put on hold when there's a transition in administration? You know what I mean?
I mean, not. I wouldn't say normally, but the current incoming administration has has stated that they have it out for the FDA. So they want to gut the FDA. I think they want to get rid of the FDA. Is what Trump and his.
I know the education.
RFK said.
Yeah, I know the Department of Education. They want to kill that. And then this thing is, it's either that or they just want him to come put RFK in charge and let him clean the whole thing out and do it new and do whatever he's going to do or whatever. So so in this case, like normally it seems like this is like a no-brainer that this just happens behind the scenes and you've got approvals and disapprovals and stuff just happening. But maybe this time there's a weird freeze on it until
Yeah, I would have normally said, if this was a few years ago, I would have said not that you didn't have to worry about it, but because they have specifically stated that the FDA they're targeting because of things, and then also, you know, the administration has been shown to be pretty open to influence from corporate influence. I would be concerned. Not that this isn't like if phenylephrine products stay on the shelf, then it's the end of the world. It's just a symptom of a larger problem, right? Like it's something that doesn't work and it shouldn't be on the shelves anymore. And if we can't do something as simple as say, well, it doesn't work, let's stop using it, then that's just a symptom of a larger problem, right?
Yeah, I wonder how slow the gears move on a thing like that. I mean, obviously you told us about it last year, and then now they're just...
Yeah, they already move slow.
Yeah.
Imagine if right now my pessimism says that the best case scenario we have with the FDA is that it's going to get gutted and a lot less funding and everything's going to move even slower.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. What if it's just RFK in a room going, that looks good. That one looks okay. I think this one's all right.
Please bring me up. Somebody please bring me a bear.
Yeah, and
Just
also,
head.
I need some sort of throat lozenge. Something.
Yeah.
What the heck is Cheryl Hines doing with me?
This is our new impression for the next 4 years. We're doing...
Perfect. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. I don't have anyone else I can do, so, you know, I'll do that.
That's all yours.
Cheryl, get in here. Anyway, this is fantastic, Bobby. We've gotten an update on lots of things. Monkeys on the loose.
Yeah.
Epinephrine. And whether phenylephrine, and whether we can get it or not, and if it works or not, and then a little bit of, you know, soothsaying on the future of the FDA. This is good stuff. This is quality content.
Yeah.
Bobby, is there anything else going on in your life in terms of other podcasts or anything else that you'd like to mention now before we go?
I like how you quickly drew a circle around that comment.
It's like, wait a minute, go back here.
In terms of podcasting, Bobby.
Yeah.
In terms of podcasting.
Strict terms.
Yeah, well, I've got a science podcast that we do every week that has, you know, science on it. So if you're interested in science, then you should check that out. And we just had an episode come out that is all about this wouldn't open. We talked about hot springs, which was really cool.
Oh.
Because I'd kind of taken for granted that hot springs, you know, existed.
They work.
Yeah, that they're just a thing that works. Hot springs and geysers.
Yeah.
And
we get a lot of those on the western side of Denver, the metro area. And been to them. They're great. I mean, I know they're all over the country, obviously, all over the world, but
there's a lot of them, in particular in your part of the country, because of the mountains. And we talk. Maura, my co-host, researched them and went all into that and why it is that they're in mountainous areas and what it is that causes them to be hot and why they are what they are. But that was it. And then also, you know, we have this World of Warcraft podcast that that apparently. I was doing research for it, Scott. So I'm sorry.
Oh, that's true. That is it. Right. Exactly. He should actually get paid for that time that he was working.
Yeah. No kidding. Look at you, 2,500. He wants $1 for each of the 2,500 points. Is the goal there? We should mention that we got an episode coming up sometime soon for the month of November. So watch for that. Yep. I also have a little bonus interview coming out, probably on the main feed as well as Patreon, from our good pal Sarah, aka Shoujo Beat. I'm gonna talk to her about what it means to be a short form video content creator on the rise in the World of Warcraft space.
Oh, she is. Her
awesome.
stuff is fantastic.
Yeah. She's been playing for a long time. We got a long history with her, and I'm really excited to sit down and talk to her, even though I've had to bump our appointment about 10 times. But we're finally got a date, and we're gonna make that happen. But watch for that sometime this month. That's over at frogpants.com/instance. And always worth checking that out. Bobby, it's good having you here, man. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And may all your flights be interrupted by rainstorms or whatever. All righty. We did it. Cool. Quick note. We have a programming change that I need to let people know about due to some Carter scheduling stuff that's going on.
Okay.
We are now moving the Monday show to 12 p.m. Noon, that is to say, Mountain Time on Mondays. So still Mondays, but no longer 4 p.m. So you don't have to wait all day to get it. You get it earlier. It means I have to scramble a little bit just to get ready for it, but not a big deal. So today at noon, you will get the Monday show with me and Carter talking whatever we're talking. All right?
Cool.
Watch for that, Brian. You have anything going on today you'd like to mention before we go?
Nothing going on today that I want to mention.
Oh, secrets.
Yeah, I wish I could say that that's why. No, still working on editing. The video for making the OpenCade is broken out into several videos, so I'm really going through and trying to A, keep it fun and lively and quick, and B, figure out the order everything is done in.
That's great. I'm excited. Yeah. You probably just have a bunch of raw footage. You got to figure out what goes where at this point.
It's a lot of close-up footage of my hands screwing in screws and holding down Raspberry Pies and things like that. So
there's a category for that on OnlyFans. People love the hands, close-up of hands.
Really? Oh, good. Okay, good to know.
I was a hand model, Jerry.
All right, well, let's get out of here with a song. Oh, reminder, all our stuff is over at frogpants.com/TMS. You've got no excuse as to what the hell's going on. It's all there. Just go and get it there.
All there.
Requests for songs, all that stuff. Speaking of which, what do we have today?
We've got a song going out to Leslie Victory, and she wrote in and said, "Hey guys, to honor Logan's first time seeing Hanson live this weekend in LA, was just this last weekend, a couple days ago. I'm requesting their new cover of Pink Moon. That's it. Thanks." Originally by a guy named Nick Drake. Familiar with Nick Drake?
No,
Scott?
I don't know who that is. Yeah. Nick Drake.
No, this song you might know from an old Volkswagen commercial when they had they were introducing the Luna Blue color of the Volkswagen Beetle, the new Volkswagen Beetle. You're an old sus grandma, so you should be able to find that one.
Oh, here we go. Jane. Oh no, that's not it. That's Blue Beetle, the movie. I can't find it. I was gonna play a taste of it, but that's interesting. I probably would recognize it from that.
You totally recognize it. So this is a brand new single that Hanson released. It is from their Underneath Complete collection, and it's a great song. Nick Drake's Pink Moon.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Tuesday edition of the Morning Stream.
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. I don't even know what I mean. Frogpants.com.
Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
Well, all right then. Thank you for the information.